If you are buying your first bag or you want to add to your collection, honestly, watch this before you even go and spend a penny. Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Right, maybe you're buying your first bag and you are feeling slightly priced out of the market because I've spoken before about how expensive everything has got, and so many people I'm talking to, like even in my real life, I've got like one of my friends is really into luxury and she is saying to me, she's like, this stuff isn't worth it anymore. It's so expensive, it's not worth it. Well, I've got 4 really iconic bags and brands, and I've got a massive hack for you, like an absolutely massive hack on how you can acquire these items, in some cases actually for like 40, 50 or 60% less than what they are if you walk in the store and buy them. And we are going to be talking about the store experience as well, because you might be torn, you might be thinking, yeah, well, I want to make that saving, but I also want to go in the store and have that experience and have a coffee or a champagne or a water and look at the bag and try it on. You might want to do that. So I'm hoping this video just gives you some information and then you can go away and make your own choice. Okay, so out of the brands that we're talking about, I'm going to be talking about Hermes, Chanel, Dior and Fendi, and just my kind of thoughts and my sort of take on this. Okay, so starting with Hermes, I got my first actual Hermes bag a little while ago. This is it, it's the Picotin. And some of you actually said to me that this bit is meant to feed through this metal bit. I know, but the reason why I haven't done that is I like to wear it with the lock on. And if you feed that through, you can't fully open the bag because that loop is covering the top, and I put so much stuff in my bag. That's why I haven't done that, because I don't want to carry the keys around and have to take the lock off every time I need to get into it. That's why I just like drape it over the top. But you're actually very right, you are meant to feed it through that metal bit. But anyway, I bought this bag in February and I got it secondhand. With Hermes, I know quite a few people now who are saying to me, do you know, either they have bought an Hermes bag secondhand or they're really considering it, because the hoops you have to jump through in order to get a bag are quite extensive, can be at least. And I know some of you have written in the comments saying, I got really lucky, I like bought a scarf and got offered a bag at the same time, or you know, a few weeks later. But I think for the vast majority of people, it's probably quite difficult to get one of these bags. So how can you get it, and why did I buy mine secondhand? I got mine secondhand because a lot of you have said to me, this bag's not a quota bag, the Constance is not a quota bag. I know, but it's almost like it doesn't matter whether it's quota or not. You're still not going to get offered one, potentially. It's like when I went in to get my Pegasus charm, I said at the time they actually had Picotins on display in the cabinet. And I said to the salesperson, I was like, have you got any for sale? And she was like, no, sorry. So it goes to show, just because it's not quota doesn't mean it's easy to get. And this is what I'm saying with Hermes. I think that if you are wanting an Hermes bag, by the time you have bought, potentially, not always, but potentially, by the time you have spent thousands of pounds on bits and pieces and sandals and scarves and bracelets and dinner service sets and plates, etc., you might as well have put the extra money, paid overs, and buy a second-hand bag. Chanel, the same. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 bags from Chanel. One is the jumbo, the larger size classic flap, modern day, and then one is a second-hand vintage. Okay, check this out. This bag in this size is now £9,540, so it's edging towards 10k. And I know in some countries it's more than in others. Like I think a lot of you have told me in Australia this bag is more than £9,500. It like works out near 10,000 once you've done the currency conversion. This is a beautiful bag and I love it, but I wouldn't spend that money on it. And I've said that before. I don't feel that the bag is worth it. And I also feel as though with Chanel, they've reached a price where I think they were hoping that they would end up like an Hermes, in so much as, let me know what you think, you might disagree, but Hermes is expensive, but then you resell it and it's even more money. And I feel as though Chanel got expensive, but you resell it and it's like 50% off. Have a look at this. I have found some bags for you. I'm going to link to them below. But the first one is this. This comes with its box and it's £6,900. That is a very big discount. And bear in mind, with all of the prices I'm showing you, I do believe that if you reach out to the sellers, you will get an even better deal. Some of the bags I'm going to show you have already been reduced, so it goes to show that person's probably looking to get a sale sooner rather than later. So always try and put in a reasonable offer if you're thinking about buying any of these. But £6,900, that's a price I think is quite fair for this bag. The next one is also £6,900. This is in cream. Both of them I think are caviar. Whether you get caviar or lambskin, it's down to personal preference. I know a lot of people don't actually like caviar. I have one lambskin bag and one caviar bag. The caviar is very hard wearing, in my opinion. The lambskin, where the chain rests on the top of the bag, I'm actually looking at it, it's next to me, just here. I have a mini rectangle lambskin, and the lambskin is so soft that just where that chain has been resting on the top, it's got like little indentations of the chain. It's that soft. For that reason, although I like the look of the lambskin, I would personally not buy a lambskin bag again. Unless it's a bag you're going to wear out to dinner and not wear very much, then fair enough. But if you want to use your bag, I would say go for caviar. Just my thoughts. Now, there was another one, by the way, 5,463. That has been reduced. So this is what I'm saying. That person quite clearly wants to sell this item, wants to offload this item. I think £5,500 is a very good price. But if you wanted to maybe offer a little bit less, give it a try, you know, use that offer feature. And then finally, I want to talk about vintage before we talk about Dior and Fendi. Don't write off vintage. I really like vintage. This I bought secondhand from Luxury Promise. Pretty much with my bags, I buy secondhand from either Luxury Promise or from Vestiaire Collective. My Hermes is from Luxury Promise. I've got a few things here from Vestiaire Collective as well. It tends to be like a bit of a split, just what I see, if I see something I like. But this is a great price. Have a look at this, £3,295 on the older bag. So this is a 90s bag, and what I really like is the square shape of it. But if I compare it in size to the jumbo, can you see it's not like a mini square? This is a bag I actually use a lot because I can fit a lot in it. And this is something else I'm going to tell you. If your budget only runs to like a small mini bag, consider saving up and spending that big bit extra on something larger, unless you're someone who uses mini bags and you know that's going to work for you. And I say that because we are going to come onto it, but I've got mini bags that don't see the light of day. They don't get used because I thought I would use them and I just don't. Okay, Lady Dior. Lady Dior. They have gone up a lot in price. They're not on par with Chanel. They're not as expensive as that, but they have gone up. So the medium is now £5,300. The mini, I'll do you a size comparison. So this is the medium, this is the mini. The mini is now £4,200. And when I tell you, I know some of you have smaller phones, so this won't be an issue for you. But on the mini one, another reason why I don't use it, it's got this really good flap on the top. We are going to be talking about the older bag versus the newer one, so you know what you're buying. My phone doesn't fit in this bag. I have to leave the flap open because the phone is longer than the actual bag. So another thing to kind of bear in mind, you might find that quite annoying. But a mini, okay, mini bag. If you want a mini Lady Dior, check this one out, £1,849. It's patent leather, it's black, it's beautiful. And I think that this is a really, really amazing price for this bag. Another one I found, and I actually own this bag, but in the medium size, so I want to show you it, is this. It's 2,588. I think this is a mini, you know. but it's the studded version, and this is what the studded version actually looks like close up. Now, you could get this at the time in patent leather, which I got, or you could get non. And the other thing I really liked about it is on the, say for example, the Ultramatte, or any of the bags that are not like this, because this was a seasonal piece. You can't really get this now. The thing that was frustrating with this bag, and even with the earlier ones, is it does come with a shoulder strap, and you can, depending on your height, you can just about get this to work as a crossbody bag. But the strap is quite light. It's like an offcut of leather, you know, it's not very special. But on this bag, the crossbody strap that came with it was like a guitar strap. You know, the ones they charge nearly £1,000 for. How much are they now? I'm not sure. But it comes with this, which when you compare it, it's a lot more substantial. It's more of a look. It's more of a sort of vibe to the bag. So I think that that one, the studded one, is a really good price. And then I did find a medium one, which again, it's like more than 50% discount. It's an Ultramatte, it's medium, and it's £2,022. And just to kind of give you an idea, this is the Ultramatte, so it's beautiful actually. It's let me rearrange my charms on here. It's a really gorgeous bag, very hard wearing actually. I know some of the earlier ones, I saw people on Instagram who had problems where the lacquer chipped off. I've never had any problems like that, and I use this bag a lot. I really do recommend it, and it's a great size. Now, finally, just to say, if you are looking at these bags and you're noticing something on Pre-Loved, you're noticing that some of the bags are like this on the top, where they have a zip. And some of the bags are like this on the top, where they have a flap that opens out. I personally prefer the flap. I find it easier to get in and out of the bag. Okay, so what this is, the version with the zip, they are the older versions of this bag. And I do believe the flap was introduced when Maria Grazia Chiuri took over. So a little bit after she kind of came in, I remember the updated version of this bag, and it had the flap, and that was when I got the studded version. And I remember thinking, move over zipped version, you're quite annoying, I'm gonna go with the flap version. However, I'm seeing like a benefit to this now. It's really good for security. It's not too much of a pain. You can get in and out of the bag. Apparently the reason why the section here was so kind of tight and closed is Princess Diana, obviously the paparazzi were obsessed with her, and this kind of tighter closure meant that she could keep her stuff in her bag and it couldn't be seen. It was really nice and secret and secure. And so that's quite a nice story there. But I wouldn't say don't go for this bag if it's got that older zip on the top, because it's not highly annoying, it's fine. But yeah, if you're looking at the two and you saw the zip versus the flap and you're not really sure what's going on, that's kind of that. And then finally, the Fendi Peekaboo, a very iconic bag. The same actually with the Fendi Baguette. And I focused on the Peekaboo here, but the same thing goes for the Baguette. So I'll try and find some very well priced baguettes that are not too vintage, and I'll put them in. But the Peekaboo is a bag that ranges in price from, for the smaller bag, around £3,400, and then it, as the bag gets larger, goes up to around about £4,500 is what I've seen. Depends on the material. If you get this in like an exotic, then it's obviously going to be more than the £4,500, and you know, the price could be whatever it's going to be. But this is another bag that I highly recommend. I love it. I've got two of them now. I've got one little iridescent mauve kind of one, and I've got this one which is chocolate, and on the inside, I'm hoping you can see it, but on the inside it's got the monogram. I'm not sure if you can see that at all, but it's a really good bag. You can wear it crossbody, you can wear it on your shoulder, comes with a decent length strap that is adjustable, and obviously if you don't want to wear this, you can just remove it and just carry it as a top handle. But these bags are like, they're not cheap, but I think when it comes to these bags in general, I think that Fendi prices are among the best. I mean, to be able to buy a bag like this, I know it's not the largest bag in the world, but to be able to buy a bag like this for like £3,400, when the same thing in Dior is £4,200 for the mini, if you see what I'm saying, and the mini's a lot smaller, I think that's a really good price. But have a look at this. So you can get the size small. I found one for £903, and look what it comes with. It's like pretty much a full set. I think that's a really good price. I wouldn't even haggle on that price. I would be like, take my money right now. I think that's a really good deal. The other one is, I think this is also a small size. And it depends whether you're into fur or not. I'm not really into fur, but I thought I'd show you it because it's a full set, comes with its receipt. It's £2,760. And I can tell you, for this bag, particularly in the fur, this would have been a lot more than that, because the fur is kind of classed as like an exotic. I don't know the exact price because this will have been seasonal, but I think that to pay £2,700 for this bag is a really good price. And again, bear in mind that you could negotiate that deal, and I'm sure you could get it for a little bit less. But even if you can't and you decide to buy it, I still think that's a very fair price. And then finally, there's a medium here. So the medium is like a larger size. I like the medium. I could see myself buying a medium eventually, actually. This is such a good price. £1,500, £1,553. It's reduced as well, which is another telltale sign that the person is really looking to offload this. And I think if you pay £1,500 for this bag, great deal. If you can get it for any less, perfect. But I wouldn't be upset if I paid their asking price on this. And look at this, it's never been worn. It's a brand new bag. This is what I'm saying with some of these brands now, on the iconic designs, on the iconic styles, you can pick up these bags for such a great discount, to a point where it makes you think, is it even worth me stepping in the store? Is there any point in doing that? And you know, going back to Hermes just briefly, as I said, I know that when you buy pre-loved, you're going to pay over. But you could argue that although you're paying, say, let's say £5,000 or £2,000 or whatever more than what that customer bought it for, think about how much that customer has potentially had to spend in Hermes in order to qualify to get offered that bag. They could have spent like 10, 15, 20,000 more on lots of bits and pieces. I've heard of lots of people buying from Hermes and just gifting things to their friends and family because they don't need it. So, in a way, you are making a saving, even though you are paying over the retail price for that item. Anyway, I hope that you have found this interesting, and if you are looking to buy your first bag or add to your collection, that there has been something in here which has been of interest. I will see you in the next video.